I made my way to Shenzhen Bayport border checkpoint. I'm feeling very excited because Shenzhen is just across the bridge, with magnificent views on both sides. The first noticeable difference is that Shenzhen Bayport is much quieter than it was before the pandemic. I see only a handful of travelers, and all the escalators are turned off. Border officers in face masks tell me to go through an automated immigration clearance channel, or E-channel, using my Hong Kong ID card. On the Shenzhen side, border officers wearing protective gear, from shoe covers to face shields, stand at the port entrance. This is pretty much the norm after this point. After crossing the border, an official checks my passport, checks a medical certificate with my recent negative COVID-19 test results, and gives me 2 forms to fill in. This notice board tells travelers what to do next. I input my health and personal details through a WeChat app, which sends back a special QR code. After checking my temperature, multiple scans of my QR code, and submitting some contact tracing information, including my home address, I finally make it to immigration. An officer asks if I have been overseas recently, checks my travel documents, and then lets me proceed. I'm now in the arrivals hall, where there are a series of tables, where officials check each traveler's destination. Each table displays color stickers for different locations. I'm asked where I'm going, Huizhou in Guangdong province, and given a green sticker. I hand over my passport, which will be given back later, and follow the signs outside. So relieved that's over. I'm told that only people going to Huizhou and Shanwei are allowed to quarantine there. People traveling elsewhere in China are taken to various locations in Shenzhen. We are allowed to depart by bus for our quarantine hotel. Bye-bye, Shenzhen! We arrive at the back of the hotel and queue for check-in. The hotel is in Longxi, a small town about 40 kilometers from downtown Huizhou. Medical staff give me a COVID-19 throat sample test. I'm asked about my medical history. My passport is returned to me and the check-in process is done. I go to my room. Outside the door are 3 bottles of water and a green plastic bucket with some daily necessities. Dinner in my room. Tonight is braised chicken with mushrooms and vegetables, served in a disposable food container. I managed to get a decent sleep, and the hotel room is bigger than my Hong Kong flat. After washing my face and brushing my teeth, I open my room door to collect my breakfast. Today's menu is steamed rice roll with meat and eggs. It's one of my favorite Cantonese dishes. A worker in protective gear knocks on my door to take my temperature and make sure I'm symptom-free. I'm told I will have mandatory temperature checks twice a day until the last day of my quarantine. A food delivery worker in PPE presses my doorbell, drops off my food on a folding chair and flees. I call reception to cancel my hotel food, since I have found out I can't have food delivered from local restaurants. Tonight, I have some typical Chinese barbecue, including sausage, chicken wings, grilled lamb skewers, and fried rice noodles. It's the start of too much takeaway food. I hear some kind of machine making a noise outside. It happens twice a day. I decide to check it out and look through the peephole. Aha! A hotel worker is cleaning and sanitizing my room door and the corridor carpets. A friend of mine drives 30 kilometers to bring me some bubble tea. This is the highlight of my day. She also brings me some milk and a bottle of Lao Ganma, a beloved brand of black bean chili sauce. I set up my temporary office in a part of the room that has the strongest Wi-Fi signal. But this afternoon at 5 p.m., my internet connection suddenly cut out. I ran out of my mobile data on my second day of quarantine. The only thing I can do is watch TV and drop back and forth between the door and the window. My mom is going to prepare a big meal for me. It is the first time I have had homemade food after 9 days of takeaway. I spent 16 hours downloading a 6GB dance game of the terrible Wi-Fi to force myself to move. Dancing at least half an hour after dinner becomes part of my daily routine. I'm woken up by tens of photos sent by my high school friends, since today is the wedding of one of our best friends. The ceremony is taking place just 1.5 hours from my hotel. They live streamed the big day for me via WeChat. It's a great day today. I feel a bit of excitement as I inch closer to freedom. I move my chair near the door to wait for the temperature tracker. I thought today would be my last COVID test, but the medical worker tells me that my day of arrival in Huizhou is not being counted as my first day of quarantine. I have my throat swab at 10:12 a.m. The medical worker says I will be able to leave the hotel tomorrow if my COVID test result is negative. I order a big meal to celebrate my last night here. The results of my COVID test have already been recorded on my health code system. Around 10:30 a.m., a hotel worker calls me and tells me to check out on the 6th floor. It is the first time I have been allowed to leave my room in 2 weeks. I see there are 3 lifts. The one on the left is for hotel staff, the middle one is for medical workers, and the one on the right for quarantine travelers. I arrive on the 6th floor and pay my quarantine bill via WeChat. The total is 2,700 yuan for 40 nights and 3 meals. An employee then gives me my quarantine completion certificate and a paper copy of my negative COVID-19 test. I'm finally released and allowed to return to my normal life.